Onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Right to the air is Jackson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play one.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run straight ahead with Hill. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Play action. It's Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Jackson. And that will be incomplete. And that one broken up by Martin Emerson.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Sanders into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Off the play fake. Sanders. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, Go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Now it's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up.
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout.
DeAndre Carter back deep. This is taken at the 18. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Jackson now. Being chased out left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They run wide side with Henry. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And this one is no good. He missed it. And that will keep this a 3-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They will start this drive with Ford, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
A quick throw caught out wide by Jeudy.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That is caught. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw again. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku from 6 yards away. And the Browns have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They begin the drive with Hill. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
From the gun, Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete once again to Hopkins. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. To throw again is Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Again, Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Throwing is Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here first and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. And the catch made by Johnson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Sanders throwing to start the drive. Pass caught. He's got Tillman. Down to the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, 71 yards. And the Browns come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Browns set and ready to go on offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Sanders now. Off play action. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 21. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Back to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's 4th. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
That's caught left side by Judy.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
He's into the secondary. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Now Sanders operating from the gun. Touchdown!
Jerome Ford.
A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Now it's Jackson.
And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
From the 46, here's second down and 5.
Jackson.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson will throw again.
A slant route caught by Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Jackson now off the bootleg. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up second down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Underneath here to Hill. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more.
He'll find Bateman once more.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Jackson from the shotgun. A short throw caught by Andrews. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Tucker's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Sanders. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
On the return, Hardy. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 21-13, a little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
From the gun, Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Connecting with Andrews.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Now 2nd and 4. Jackson. That'll be caught by Hill.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Now Jackson.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
This is 1st and 10. Jackson. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
One last shot for Jackson. This ball intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal, because remember,